Sup everyone, we are back with more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles 2, Resolve. And we're back in case 3 here, and well, let's just get started and continue from where we left off, shall we?
I concur. There's clearly more to the truth here than meets the eye. Transformers! Robots in disguise. It's imperative that we clear up the issue of this phantom balloon, I feel. The Phantom Menace. Witness, you will give supplementary testimony about the balloons you were operating at the exhibition.
Ah, grazie, my lord. My voice is feeling a bit scratchy. This is taking place a day after the last recording, so if I sound a bit out of sorts, that is why. As I said, Balthazar Loon is no liar. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. All 3 of my balloons were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground in an esplosione, what a catastrophe. But you can't get away from the fact that a burnt up bit of cloth was found at the scene, can ya? The coppers at the yard reckon it was probably some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage. I don't know why I had so much trouble reading that one. This stupido Ragoso is mistaken. My balloons have the red and blue zigzag stripes anyway. Huh. So they're a certain color.
So your assertion is that the balloon this child saw was not one belonging to you?
Si, exactamente. If he even saw a balloon in the first place. I do not like the sound of it. It is very bad for business. Careful, man. You're blowing quite a bit of hot air right now. I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia. If you attack us, we will fight back. It will be war. It all-out war. Stop talking about war. You are a child. That is not a topic that you should be going into. What happened to all-out war? Oh, brother. Mr. Loon certainly doesn't appear to be lying. But that doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here.
If the defense is unable to find fault with the witness's statements, the court must consider that the truth. Think long and hard on that, my learned friend.
The situation has clearly changed now. I have to get to the bottom of what happened here, no matter what it takes. Wow, that was nice timing on the judge.
Counsel, you may now cross-examine the witnesses.
That takes some skill to hit the gavel at just the right time to stop the music. Mr. Loon's Balloons. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. Time to press this statement right now. You couldn't just have forgotten one, maybe? Signor, I might not notice if I was given 100 lentils and one was missing. But we are talking about 3 enormous balloons. Do you believe I can make a mistake about something so grand and expensive?
I took the liberty of having Inspector Gregson check this gentleman's warehouse. I have the report here. It clearly says a total of 3 balloons. It would appear no mistake has been made, then.
Surely Miss Lestrade could have been sent for such a menial task. What, me? I'll tell you what I told the boss. He said kids like me can only count up to 2. Obviously that ain't true, but the boss brought it in and said he'd have to go himself in that case. The sheer amount of what do you call those even? Is it an apostrophe? It might be an apostrophe. I don't know. Sorry, I haven't taken English classes in quite a few years. Also, what do you got? It would be quite a catastrophe if they fell to the ground for any reason, I think. On that note, Mr. Loon, tell me, what is it that keeps these balloons in the sky? Hot air?
Are you an idiota?
Sorry?
That is like asking why does a candle burn bright? It burns bright because it burns bright, and a balloon flies because it flies. What else?
That must be Italian for I don't know.
There are two types of flying balloons, hot air balloons and gas balloons. Hot air balloons work on the principle of hot air being less dense than cold air, whereas gas balloons derive their lift by using a gas that is lighter than air.
You know, I mean, you probably don't have to worry about... Actually, wait. If hot air balloons work by having hot air that's colder, I mean, you know, hot air rises and all that, but what if you had it, like, next to, like, a volcano or something where the entire area is gonna be hot? What then? Also, you definitely wouldn't have to worry about that in London, considering how cold it is there, but...
See, and my balloons are filled with the magic gas, I believe. Hydrogen, lighter than air, but highly explosive.
Good lord! Well, that would explain how one of them blew up.
I do not permit smoking of the cigarettes in any of my balloons. The magic gas does not like fire.
Even a small spark of static electricity could cause the entire balloon to explode. That actually caught me off guard.
What is the matter with you, senor? All that comes out of your mouth is explosion. I tell you, my balloons are perfectly safe. They have to be, or I cannot eat. None of my balloons exploded that day, I am completely sure. But if you still say that is what happened, you must show me the proof.
I like how he's still holding it. It just kind of looks like frickin' he's holding tape in his hands now. Alright, so Mr. Loon had 3 balloons in the air that day. If none of them were damaged, then what was the one that exploded? I never get tired of this face of Ryunosuke's, where he just looks at the camera dumbfounded. Burn a bit of cloth is found at the scene. Dun 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 dun. I was surprised to find the piece of fabric still at the scene, actually. Didn't you search the area surrounding the stage for clues? Nah, I'm not into picking stuff up off the ground, me. Always works out way better, diving into people's pockets instead. And you're planning to be a detective? So much for the new career path. Yeah, exactly what I'm thinking. Mind you, the boss was on his hands and knees picking up all kinds of rubbish from the floor. News though, the cage went crashing into the crystal tower, didn't it? So that's where most of the investigating was going on. Even so, I would have thought someone from Scotland Yard would have gathered it up as evidence. Cool, listen to you. You stumble around a bit of balloon, and suddenly you're the best investigator in the world. Pardon? Well, you ain't got a badge, have ya? Like this one. I could arrest you with this if I wanted to. I wouldn't put it past her. Come to think of it, there was talk of some scorching on the ground at a meeting we had about the investigation. New animation spotted. The coppers at the yard reckon it was probably some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage. I don't know how to say thrown with whatever accent I'm using for Gino. I honestly don't know what the accent I use for her is called. I just use it because, you know, I've heard it before. There was considerable damage to the stage and surrounding area, wasn't there? Yeah, some of the cows what were watching the experiment were caught in the blast and injured. Good job the old contraption didn't keel over, eh? I hadn't even considered that.
It seems there was great panic after the incident occurred. Nevertheless, the police shouldn't have missed a torn piece of the envelope from a balloon. Inspector Gregson can expect repercussions.
Oh god, is he gonna get a freaking pay cut check? Paycheck cut. Like me swiping all his fish and chips, eh? The man's sole pleasure. Robbed from him by a pickpocket. None of this matters. That scrap of balloon and envelope means nothing. Niente. Da da ba da da ba da da da. Ragozzo. A little bambino covered in prosciutto comes out about 9 months later. You mean the color is wrong? Si, senor. I do not have any green balloons in my warehouse. And yet a piece of green cloth was found at the scene. It's unmistakably from a balloon. Well, I do not know how that can be. I mean, were there other balloons there?
Sorry. For the sake of argument, let's say that a green balloon did explode above the stage. You couldn't therefore conclude that it happened on the day in question.
Why not?
There have been recreational balloon flights over Hyde Park operating from before the Great Exhibition. One could have exploded on some earlier date. Unfortunate, as I'm sure you'd agree. You believe it may have been from some earlier balloon accident that predates the exhibition?
Si, exactamente. As the senor says, it is not from one of my balloons. Clearly this little ragazzo from Bohemia is mistaken about what he saw. And he's pissed off right next to me. I'm kind of scared, honestly. This kid scares me.
Excuse me.
Alright, time to talk to the child. Is something wrong, Master Gotts? It's Master William Gottsreich Sigismund Ormstein. It's on the tip of my tongue. I don't even know if this is a Bohemia accent I'm doing. I'm just kind of... A lot of it sounds German. I don't know if there's a difference. I am not good at geography. Yeah, something is very wrong. I know what I saw. There was a green balloon there. I swear it, I swear all over Bohemia. You can speak as much as bad language as you like, but it changes nothing. Give me another balloon. If you do not have evidence, ragazzo, then I must tell your parents to punish you, eh? Perhaps we'll let the judge decide when it comes to punishments. Evidence? What is this evidence?
To give a simple example, young man. A photograph, for instance. Some tangible proof of what you claim.
Well, why didn't you say so sooner? I have the photograph here.
Good gracious!
What? I had not been up in a balloon for a little while, so I was very excited. I took lots and lots of photographs. Of the Crystal Tower, of the Bohemian exhibit, of the streets of London, of the hot air cellar, the balloon. And the instantaneous kinesis experiment. Did you take a picture of that? Yeah, one picture. Really? You did take one. But all I wanted was a light in a balloon. I was not interested in boring experiments. Never mind that. Can you show us the photograph? Of course. And then you will see. You will see that I am not lying. That I really did see a green balloon. It's in black and white. It's in sepia, you utter fool. Bruh. Well, I see you are too shocked to speak.
Yes, I think shocked is indeed the word, young man.
Yeah, perhaps you cannot see that it was a green balloon from this photograph, but that is not my fault. That is the fault of the stupid person who made the camera. Oh my god. This child has accented ways. The baby is crying with accents. Holy shit. That is hilarious to me. Oh, that's... oh, that's good. Freaking accented crying. That is next level writing right there. That is one very bohemian sounding cry. I know, right? Oh my god. Who the hell came up with this? This is some... Whoever wrote the script for this game, props off to you. Or at least that line. I don't know. There's probably multiple script writers, but still.
Very well, the court will accept this photograph as evidence.
Taken by Gotts while he was riding a balloon. Okay. It's not my fault. It's the fault of the person who made the camera. Oh, well, never mind. I'm sure you have plenty of wonderful sepia memories to take home with you. Let's check this. Well, you can see our good old friend Hairbrain right there. You can see the victim over there. So it definitely looks like it wasn't pointed upwards before. It definitely looks like it wasn't pointed upwards until after the explosion. Also, wait, there's literally no one in this balloon. Why is it up here? Why is there a balloon just chilling up here with no one in the basket? I mean, I guess that's good because that would mean no one died when it exploded, but wait, what the hell's this? Y'all see this? It like, is that like a bullet? It's like, it's coming from inside the smoke, but I don't think it's, judging by the look of things, it doesn't look like it's coming from the stage. Huh. In any case, when exactly did you take that photograph? Well, it was on the day of the big explosion. You don't say. When I pressed the shutter release, there was this very loud bang, and a hot wind rushed over my face. That means the hot wind blowing, jagged lines across the sand. This photograph is taken a split second before the explosion occurred. Well, if you ask me, this black and white photograph changes nothing. Oh my god. I could not give the flying fig. God. Lovely language you've picked up. Bum 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 dum dum dum. As I thought, Mr. Loon's testimony just doesn't quite add up. The unbohemian boy claims to have seen another, fourth balloon. But Mr. Loon vehemently denies the possibility. And it's hard to imagine the man in charge could be mistaken about the number that were in the air. Still, this inconsistency must tell us something, I'm sure. Alright, time to look into it then. Okay. Oh, we're carrying passengers. Okay, yeah, that's gotta be it. I'm not even gonna save. I'm so confident in my answer that I'm just gonna do it. Objection. Hell yeah. Unfortunately, the photograph Mr. Gotts took can't tell us the color of the balloon. But it can tell us something else. Something crucially important. What? Speak, damn it. It shows that the pictured balloon wasn't carrying any passengers.
Oh, my goodness, you're right. But surely all the balloons would have been carrying passengers. There would be no sense in it otherwise.
See, they are for pleasure, for seeing the view. My balloons only fly with passengers. Which tells us that the pictured balloon isn't one of them. So, when the incident was actually occurred that day, there was a fourth balloon in the skies above the experimentation stage. The mysterious green balloon. I know nothing. Niente. I can only tell you one thing. If this balloon was not carrying passengers, then it was not one of mine. Huh. Interesting.
There are legal tradesmen everywhere you care to look. Clearly one such entrepreneur decided to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the Great Exhibition, and managed to operate balloon flights on Mr. Loon's patch without him realizing.
See, the competizione trying to steal my profits.
I feel like this accent is becoming a larger and larger stretch with the words like competizione.
I did not notice because of the experimento that went around on the stage.
His fourth balloon exploded at the very same moment Mr. Asmund was beamed from the stage below.
Right, so them scraps that fell to the ground after and left them scorch marks, they didn't come from the stage at all. It was bits of the balloon raining down.
But because no one was in it, it didn't get no attention. Mysterious fourth balloon carrying no passengers, silently floating over the experimentation stage.
Objection!
This photograph shows us nothing more. A stray balloon carrying no one and operated by some rogue trader. Clearly it has nothing to do with the case. Its relevance does elude me, I must say.
Come on. The court has seen sufficient evidence and heard ample testimony already. The prosecution calls for this trial to be concluded. Oh shit. Really? Have we really got to the truth yet? No, I can't let this opportunity slip away. The jurors' minds are made up, and not in our favor. Really? Juror number 1 didn't look like they were made up. In fact, they just looked like they were completely bored. What else can this photograph tell us? Is there nothing more we can learn from it? I definitely see something else.
Objection!
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wait. Please don't give your decisions yet. The photograph from Mr. Gotts may well be hiding one more vital clue. What's that?
A vital clue?
Objection!
We're well past the point of mere possibilities. It's time for definitives now, so tell the court. What exactly does this alleged clue in the photograph prove?
I want to say it's the last one. I'm going to save because I'm actually not as sure on this. Dun 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 dun. Maybe this? We can reasonably assume that the pictured balloon was destroyed in the searing heat of the explosion.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, yeah. It was not my fault.
Evidently. Because the birdcage from the kinesis machine materialized in the sky where it had been flying. And the balloon, being filled with flammable hydrogen, instantly and explosively ignited.
Objection!
No, that's not what happened.
What? It would appear that this photograph requires closer examination. Counsel for the defense, you will highlight the location of this alleged clue in the photograph for the court.
Of course, my lord. If you look closely, it's plain enough to see. And what's shown is linked to another piece of evidence we have. In a way, that leads to an unbelievable conclusion. The clue that heavily suggests the real reason the balloon exploded is... It's gotta be this, right?
Take that!
Is that it? The timing of this photograph can only be described as miraculous. If you look, you'll notice there's a bright white line that appears to point directly at the balloon.
Most likely a ray of light caught incidentally on the film. I'm afraid I could see nothing of the sort.
If you look with a magnifying glass, my lord, it becomes clear what the nature of this bright line actually is.
Goodness, what is that?
I assume that was him.
Undeniably some flash of light, yes.
Oh, golly. Do you think it might be lightning?
I don't think lightning goes upwards.
But it couldn't have been a finer day. I believe we may be looking at fire. A bolt of fire heading straight for the balloon? Like an arrow. Like an arrow. I don't know why, but I feel like that dude has some type of Irish or Scottish voice. I don't know.
Indeed, even to my aging eyes, it would appear to be a flame of some sort. My word, are you suggesting this flame struck the hydrogen gas that filled the balloon?
Objection!
That's absurd. The balloon would have been 60 feet above the ground at the time. No flame could possibly have reached such a height.
Objection!
Actually, it's my opinion that a particular piece of evidence found at the scene reveals how this is exactly what did happen.
What evidence?
Whenever he does that specific pose, I have to try to make him sound pissed off.
If such evidence exists, Counsel, then for goodness sake, present it, man. Which evidence explains this mysterious streak of flame that appeared to be heading directly for the balloon?
I am unsure. I'm gonna save again. You know, just do what I'm best at. We still haven't... I feel like this isn't gonna come up yet. I've got very few clues, honestly.
Take that!
This is what comes to mind. The true nature of the curious slim streak of light is revealed by this.
A curious answer with a slim chance of being the correct one, I feel. It looks somewhat like a piece of firework, but whereas fireworks dazzle their audience, you fizzle out in a remarkably disappointing way. Insults dressed up in colorful metaphors are still insults.
But anyway, this firework display isn't over yet.
Such evidence exists, Counsel. Better present it, man. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so we presented this.
Take that!
Maybe this? No. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire.
Take that!
If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Well, this is going well.
Take
that! I suck at this game. Well, I've done all 4 of these. Or wait, have I done all 4 of these? I've done most... Oh wait, no, I have. Frickin'... I have 3 pieces of evidence left. Is it really this?
Take that!
No, it isn't. What the hell? Is it... Well, we're clearly representing something.
Take that!
I don't know this. Oh my god. Did I literally present everything but the right one? Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, let's try representing then.
Take that!
It's still not? What? What in the hell? What piece of evidence do I need to present, game? Please, I'm begging thee. This, that. I don't know. There's something I didn't examine somewhere? Like, what the hell? There's gotta be something, right? Streak of flame. I presented this. like, it's not like I can examine things in here, so that it... Wait a second. What the hell's this? Is that just, I guess that's just a child running around or something? It just kind of stood out in my... I don't freaking know. Game, please, I beg thee. Fucking present my armband, maybe. I don't freaking know.
Take that!
Experiment. You know what? I'm just gonna skip ahead until I find it.
Alright, I think I finally frickin' found something that was extremely stupid and extremely precise. So I went to the mysterious contraption here, and I was thinking, well, we haven't presented this piece of evidence yet, and it's the only thing I could think of. And I was looking everywhere from every which angle in order to try to find something. But it was like right here, specifically, this very tiny little portion. And now it'll frickin' show something, apparently. Ah, there's some sort of lever here. It's a... What is this? It looks like a cross between a bow and a gun. Yeah, that's called a crossbow, Ryunosuke. I think it's probably used for the same thing, too. Crossbow. Oh my god. Good lord. Was it that hard to frickin'... what is this, by the way? It's like a... Looks like you wind this around in order to draw the bowstring back and create tension. Must be able to fire arrows with a huge amount of force using this device, then. In fact, I would imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than a Japanese longbow. Ugh, I really had no idea what I was picking up when I spotted this at the exhibition grounds. Okay, well now I've found the answer after finding that real specific thing, so that's great. What do we got? Alright, here it is. Crossbow. Present it. This was found hidden at the foot of a small ornamental tree near the scene.
Good lord, is that a crossbow?
An arrow dipped in oil and set alight could have been shot from this weapon, sending a flaming arrow straight into the hydrogen-filled balloon.
Are you suggesting that crossbow was used to deliberately...
Blimey, you're right! That streak of light in the photo looks just like an arrow, done it. Good lord. Then, the explosion of the balloon, it was... Very likely the result of a flaming arrow from this crossbow igniting the hydrogen gas inside it.
No!
Wow.
Order, order! Council, this is an extraordinary supposition.
If the aim was to cause the balloon to explode, the shooter could have used a gun, of course. However, there's an obvious reason why that would have been out of the question.
The noise of the discharge, of course.
That's right. By using a crossbow, the projectile could be fired at the balloon silently. Well, yeah, if someone had shot a gun off in the exhibition grounds, it would have caused a real panic. But with the big explosion there was a very big panic anyway, no? I don't like this. I should be pleased to have found a plausible new explanation for all this, but something feels very wrong.
Objection!
Do you understand the implications of what you're saying, my Nipponese friend?
If a flaming arrow did indeed hit the balloon, then obviously it would have exploded. And if the birdcage appeared from the cloud of smoke that ensued... What? Wait a minute. What are you really saying here? I don't get it. Was the birdcage beamed up into the sky after all? Or what?
My goodness me!
Oh, shit. Ah, now I understand. That's what that sinking feeling is about. I think there's a good chance that the birdcage was actually concealed inside the balloon all along.
What? Did I just hear that correctly, Counsel?
There's no going back now. The horse is bolted. Let's assume, as I said, that the birdcage was hidden inside the green balloon from the start. On stage, when the experiment was started, the birdcage and the instantaneous kinesis machine disappeared in a cloud of smoke. At that moment, the flaming arrow was fired from the ground, causing the green balloon to explode and drawing the attention of the spectators to the sky above their heads. From amid the smoke, the hidden birdcage then appeared, to fall down and crash into the crystal tower. I think you'll all agree it's entirely plausible that what I've just described is the real truth behind the miraculous experiment carried out that day.
This... Good grief!
Wow.
Objection!
How do you explain...
This is ludicrous. What you've described is no science experiment. It's child's play. A contemptible display of stage magic.
Both Mr. Sholmes and Iris said that the experiment was a scientific impossibility. In which case, this is the only way to explain what happened that day.
And in any case, the victim's body was found inside the birdcage in the crystal tower. If the instantaneous kinesis didn't take place, how do you explain that?
If I may put in a word, as a man of magic myself, such apparent discrepancies can easily be explained by some simple deception. Juror number 3? All that would be needed is a doppelganger, someone who looked very similar to the victim, Mr. Asman, and having this other man appear on stage to front the show as a body double. Yes, of course. So in fact, Mr. Asman must have been inside the birdcage that was concealed inside the balloon right from the start.
Objection!
That balloon would have been filled with hydrogen. Anything hidden inside it would have been scattered to the four winds when it exploded. No one would ever have embarked on such a risky venture. Not necessarily. The explosive force of the balloon gas would have very much depended upon the mixture ratio.
Juror number 4.
Flying balloons are rarely filled with pure hydrogen, but a mixture of other gases such as helium as well. Helium on its own doesn't explode, but by controlling the gas mixture ratio, the explosive force can be altered. The mixture ratio. Obviously, the victim's body would have suffered some burns. That would be unavoidable. But not to such an extent as to render this whole obscene charade impossible.
Wow. Von Zykes is really taken aback by this. He is getting styled on by the jurors and the defense. So everything that happened can be explained, logically and scientifically. The explosion that engulfed the stage at the start of the experiment was no accident. It was all part of an elaborate deception to make it appear that instantaneous kinesis had occurred.
Well, goodness me.
And if we accept that this is what happened, it means that the victim, Mr. Asman, was never present on the public experimentation stage to begin with. In short, he couldn't have been killed by the defendant, who was on stage in full view the entire time. Get dabbed on. This will be very hard for the prosecution to counter. But Von Zykes can't credibly maintain that Prosecutor Harebrain. Professor Harebrain is a suspect now. Oh no, it's Harebrain himself, isn't it? I know it is. Oh, I knew it.
Mr. Naruhodo, I appreciate your efforts. Thank you. Professor? But you can stop now. Just keep your mouth shut, please. Sorry?
Uh-oh. What's all this about, Mr. Hairbrain?
I, Albert Hairbrain,
Hereby confess. I knew it. He's in denial of the fact that his hypothesis was incorrect, and now he's just gonna confess to the crime because of it. That it was me
who stabbed Mr. Odiasman. Yes, it was me, with my faithful friend and partner, Andrew the Screwdriver. What are you doing? Order! Defendant, explain the sudden confession.
Objection!
Professor Hairbrain, what are you talking about? It's what I've said all along. I must protect my hypothesis and my precious machine. This dumbass. You stand there and claim it was all a trick. Oh, an elaborate prank, but where's your proof? No, you'd have to examine the machine if you wanted to prove it, but then it would all be over. My beautiful hypothesis would be laid bare. I mean, the indignity of it.
It's clear that you drew the plans for the experiment, but you didn't actually build it. It's quite conceivable that you were duped, Professor. If you'll just let me, I could prove—
Barrack!
Yes.
I'll cooperate. I'll do whatever you say. I swear it. So please, ensure the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act is adhered to and protect my creation.
Oh my god.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice this critical juncture. Here's to my learned Nipponese friend. Oof. And his upcoming attempt to clarify the defense's position in the light of the accused's confession. Do you intend to formally assert that the experiment was nothing more than a conjuring trick? Because the moment you do, the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act that protects the professor's invention will cease to apply. The prosecution will then demand a rigorous examination of the machinery involved in order to establish the truth. However, if you acknowledge that the machine is genuine and instrumental in the victim's murder, any chance of investigating will be crushed, and the confidentiality of the professor's hypothesis preserved. Well, Counsel, what is the defense's official position on this matter?
I think I'd already know, but I'm gonna save just in case. We need to know more about this case, and in order to do that, we need to know about the thing. Professor Hairbrain, my client, actually asked of me was to prove that the explosion on stage was an accident and protect the secrecy of his hypothesis. But there's no way to do that without implying the professor's guilt. Do I protect my client's life by asserting his innocence? Or do I uphold my client's request but see him condemned? Either way, I can't avoid betraying his trust.
You've been silent long enough. Isn't talking your trade, my learned friend? Or has all knowledge of English escaped your confused Nipponese mind?
Mr. Naruhodo? There's no escape here. I have to make a choice. It's an impossible one. I have to give up something. But what? The defense asserts that the defendant's instantaneous kinesis machine was in fact... Oh, God. God, imagine if this was like a legitimate branching path in the story. That would be so cool. But at the same point, we need to protect our client. At the end of the day, we're a defense attorney. We defend the client. And in a murder case, you defend the client of being a murderer. Ah! No, I can't say it. My client places faith in me. I can't just let him down. Okay, so I guess that didn't matter on what I chose. What must I give up on? It's not the question. I'm gonna take a wild guess in the dark. And oh man, if I'm right, it's gonna be something. What must I give up on? It's not the question you have to ask yourself here. It's what can I protect? I knew it! Hello again, Mr. Naruhodo. It's been far too long. Susato-san! But what are you? Hey-ya! Oh, I missed this. My first Susato takedown in 6 months. There'll be time to talk later, Mr. Naruhodo. For now, we must concentrate on the task at hand. We're just working out not what I have to give up on, but what I can protect. Professor Hairbrain. She's actually here. How and when and why? Also, I'm so happy we're getting to hear this theme again. Yes? Yesterday you told me that science is the pursuit of truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth, too. Yes, of course. And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Mr. Asman. I think you've come to realize something yourself, too, haven't you? That your experiments in the machine you built with the victim are questionable. The truth behind that is what we must both pursue now.
Get rid of your cheery music, so you finally opened your eyes.
What?
And as for you, Albert, you can't ignore this any longer. Having heard my learned friend's assertion, don't you have something to say?
Barrick. Lord Van Zykes. Gosh, I've never heard him speak that way before. I'm still in disbelief that Susato's actually here. In truth, there is one thing. Something I've remembered that's of relevance. What? We'll figure that out next time on Great Ace Attorney 2. Oh man, I don't want to end it here, but at the same time, I don't want to go over my usual limit. Next time we'll figure out what he's remembered, and also maybe we'll learn about why the hell Susato's here later. Because holy shit, I was not expecting her. Adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja, mata ne.